So off they go on the green flag lap. So 39 cars on this grid. Wow. And they have to do a pit stop. 2 minutes pit stop. Some of them, as you heard, they are changing over. The first of those that are going to be changing over is that second row, the number 16 car, the G&M Motorsport, Sam Gay, Colin Tester and Honda Integra, and the Team Darkside, number 13, Scott and Ryan Parkin in their Volkswagen Golf. Covered those guys already at Donington Park earlier this year. Crazily quick. Green flag is waved at the back. 45-minute race with a 2-minute mandatory pit stop for everybody. Penalties are kicked out if they stop too soon or too short. The lights are on, the engine notes have risen, off go the lights and off go the field. Very squirrely for our pole sitter, the 45 BMW of Hufford couldn't get away, but the number 1 car of Nick Jackson certainly did. Into the lead he goes. The BMW gets a good second phase, so he sits in second. I thought the Team Darkside Golf was going to come through, but he sat in third, just ahead of Gay and Tester. Then it's the Callum Noble, number 20 BMW, although coming around the outside of him, I think that's the Dowsett and McKee BMW by the looks of it. Car number 36, black BMW, but now he's got his own fight trying to keep everyone else behind him, that being the 99 Daniel and Patrick Seal BMW coming back at them, and the number 20 BMW has moved up ahead of Gay and Tester. So I said to watch out for Callum Noble, the Thorny Motorsport BMW. He's moved up 1 place as he went through Surtees. Again, they're just taking it steady-ish, steady-ish, as steady as they can do, in these opening moments, because it is 45 minutes. That said, we've still got moves going on. Darren Goes looked like he was on a mission on the background. I said that he was going to try and come through, and probably would. I'm not sure that car was in full health in qualifying this morning. He certainly did 1 flying lap and then came in. The orange BMW in second, but under huge pressure from the Team Darkside Golf. The Darkside Golf looking up the inside as they got towards Stirling's. I could suddenly see on the camera out in the back half of this circuit, but not worked at the moment. So it is the number 1 car of Nick Jackson in the lead. Our pole sitter Gary Hufford, good second phase on that start. It meant he held on to second at worst. It looked like he was going to go tumbling down the order, so a good job there. Third is the Parkins Team Darkside, number 13, and Callum Noble, number 20. That BMW's moved up, as I say, that 1 place up into 4th. Gay and Tester down to 5th. There's Darren Goes. He's up into 6th position already. 7 places gained on that opening lap. Goodness me. He was odds on apparently to win the race at where did they race last time? Snetterton, was it not? No, Donington Park, sorry. But he pitted too short and he got a 1 lap penalty, and it put him way down the order in the end. What did he finish? 5th position. Gary Hufford also got that penalty, and he finished in 6th, so he'll be determined not to make that mistake again, as did 2 and 70, 2 being the Newman and Smith Seat Supercopa, and 70 was a non-finisher over Steve Houston in the Porsche Cayman. So they'll be managing that a bit tighter this time. They do say that this is all about fun racing as well, but you're still not supposed to break the rules. You're still supposed to stick to the rules as they are. Let's have a look, because I've also got, where did it go? There we go, some information. So the lead car, NGM Racing, in the back with their Supercopa offering arrive and drive race packages for 21. See our website for more details, njmotherracing.co.uk. That is the number 1 car that's in the lead. Gary Hufford, car number 45. We'll fill out at a later date. Fantastic. Thank you for that, Gary. 3rd position is the Team Darkside, the Parkins. Team Darkside Developments, Yorkshire-based company specialising in VAG, BMW, Mini and Porsche Diesel. They have an in-house team for product design and manufacture. It says with, let's just check, does that carry on? It does. CNC machining. That car was all over the back of the BMW Hufford, but not anymore. Callum Noble equally has not managed to move any higher. 24 Smith is now up into 8th place, so that's a place gain there. One that's on the charge is the number 78 car, so we need to keep an eye on that one. That's the Team Legacy BMW of Adrian Bradley and Ronan Bradley, the white car with the green flashes on it. They've managed to move up, what did I say, it was 4 places to 14th last time round. So they are definitely on the charge. Car number 78. Nothing on there, Adrian and Ronan Bradley. Haven't written any information just yet. Number 20 BMW out for Forney Motorsport, Callum Noble. No real information there on those guys as it stands at the moment. Here is their challenges. So the number 120 car, Callum Noble, has now moved up into 3rd place and buzzing all over the back of Gary Hufford, the 45 BMW. So I said he'd make a challenge at some point, and it looks to me Darren Goes has gone up again into 5th place, so past the Gay and Tester Integra. Don't forget, you've got some of these that are going to change drivers, which are going to completely twist the dynamic of this, that we don't quite know how it's going to transpire. Then you've got drivers like Darren Goes that's doing the whole thing. And, of course, our leader, Nick Jackson. Gary Hufford in that 45 BMW is about to be passed by Callum Noble in towards Surtees. Side by side, they're still there, nearly touching and leaning on each other through there. But up goes Callum Noble. That now puts him up into 2nd place. I said that he wasn't right, he was down in 5th on the grid. Well, he's got himself up into 2nd place now. The bad news for him is it's quite a gap before they get to the race leader, Nick Jackson, car number 1. He's made quick work of that over this last lap and a half, hasn't he, really? He doesn't want to hang around. Same as Darren Goes. He's absolutely flying. Darren Goes is the fastest car on the circuit at the moment, 142.052. When you think that pole position was 158.224, that shows you just how bad the conditions were earlier and how perfect they are now, other than the wind. Now, I don't know what effect the wind's going to be having on these guys and girls out there in this race. Still, that 78 car of the Bradleys moves up another 2 places. Adrian and Ronan Bradley in their BMW E36, and keep an eye on that. Look at this, the leader's just evaporated. Callum Noble is all over the back of our leader, car number 1, Nick Jackson. Not quite making a lunge there. Oh, very wide sweep line there. Up into 4th now, Darren Goes. He's all over the back of the orange BMW number 45, our pole sitter Gary Hufford. See, his rain dance during the lunch break obviously didn't work. He'd have wanted the rain to carry on, judging from this, but Darren Goes is all over the back of him. Looking up the inside, down in towards Graham Hill Bend. Surely that's going to disappear. Darren knew it as well, just sort of puffed a little bit of smoke there as he locked the brake ever so slightly. The Parkins in Team Darkside Golf still there in a grandstand seat, has been passed but is not falling away. Behind them is the other orange BMW that's moved up into 6th place, and that is the Seal, so they've come through past Gay and Tester. Darren Goes in the Mangoes Racing car. For the leaders to come back to us. Unbelievably, that's rapidly approaching 10 minutes gone already in this race. So it is still Jackson, number 1, that's just about holding on to the lead. Callum Noble going with him. Then there's a small gap, and it's our pole sitter, 45, Gary Hufford, the orange BMW. Darren Goes hunting him down, taking the Parkins Team Darkside Golf with them. Getting through some back markers now, so this is where it gets a little bit tasty. Then we got a gap to the 99 BMW of the Seals with Gay and Testers Integra just behind them. So they did get past that Integra, but not managed to lose it. And it's a gap before we get to the 24. which is the red. Red and black, sorry, red with black stripes, Seat Ibiza. That one goes just about to turn left, and he's got someone, Smith that is, and he's got Di Donato for company, the number 33 car. Now I like that because Alex Di Donato in that Peugeot 205 GTI, car number 33, drove that car in here this morning. I saw it arriving as I was parking up ready to come over here, and he actually drove that car in. Obviously by law taped up the numbers on the windows to make sure it wasn't sort of looking too much of a race car. Definitely the 33 Alex Di Donato is trying to apply some pressure to Smith. Did lap about half a second quicker that last time round, so that could get interesting. Talking of interesting, here is the lead pack. There's a lot of smoke coming off of that orange BMW as it comes onto the start-finish straight. Has there been a little bit of contact, or is there an issue? Doesn't look like any damage. Darren Goes has got past him into third position, the number 22 car, but Hufford, and he's run wide, he's onto the gravel, but he's managed to just pull himself through. I thought for a second he was going to oversteer that car as he came out, but he's managed to power through. But the Parkins in that Team Darkside Golf all over the back of them now because of that moment. Darren Goes to set up into third. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all really within grasp of each other. The full length of the Cooper Straight before we get to the 99 BMW of the Seals, and Gay and Testa still not within striking distance, but not completely out of touch. Then there's this fight that I was talking about with the Smith Seat Ibiza, car number 24. Michael Smith onto the Cooper Straight he goes with that Peugeot 205 GTI all over the back of him. The road legal Peugeot 205. When he was having a sneaky snifter up the inside at the left-hander of Surtees, but Michael Smith was having none of that. Further back, 2 places gained by Everett, up into 19th place. As this settles down, we'll also keep an eye on the class battles, because Smith and Di Donato are second and third respectively in Class B, so that is important for class honours. Gay and Testa are lead in that particular class. Jackson, Noble, Goes and Hufford are first, second, third and fourth in Class S. Here they come towards us now. Darren Goes closing in on Noble now by the looks of it. Then Class A are the Parkins. And then right back to 10th for car number 10 for Cully's the second in Class A. So the Team Darkside Golf doesn't need to do anything dramatic. It's leading its class, but they're racing drivers. We know that means absolutely nothing. Hufford still going, and I didn't see any smoke there, so fingers crossed all is okay with that car. All of a sudden, Callum Noble's lost a lot of ground on the leader, and Jackson has stretched his legs at the front. That's half a second quick on that last lap, and I'd say that's growing even further at the moment. Darren Goes was having a late look up the inside of Callum Noble's purple BMW, but not able to make it stick. Noble is actually the quickest car out there now. Bit of bump drafting going on between 92 and 36 there. Abbott and the Dowsett and McKee BMW. The Peugeot 306 still has the knot at the moment, but that got rather interesting as they were getting past the back markers, just bump drafting with each other. Flames belching out the back of the Celica. That was fabulous. In the 1127 Motorsports of Stuart Donovan Toyota Celica with flames belching out the back as it was on the brakes heading in towards Paddock Hill. Now we seem to have lost the number 10 car. Ah, there, it's in the gravel and made contact with the tyre wall by the... No, it hasn't. That's actually just the front as it's gone backwards through the gravel for the number 10 Cully car. Coming out of Clearways there. On the brakes, it's just switched around on itself. Coming out onto start finish straight up into second. Darren Goes into second. Darren goes into second. And Callum Noble just couldn't fight. He obviously slowed down a little bit more than Darren Goes as they went through that yellow flag. But by the time they went through the green, it means that Darren Goes had that thing firmly up to speed. Hufford's now on the back of Callum Noble, actually, and all the while this is allowing our leader, the number 1 car of Nick Jackson, the championship leader and last year's champions, in that absolutely gorgeous-looking Seat SuperCup car, to pull away. Well, suddenly Callum Noble's gone, hold the fort, that's not what I planned. And he's now got himself latched back onto the rear of Darren Goes as they're picking their way through these back markers. I noticed that that fight between the 205 and the Seat Ibiza has switched round, so the black 205 GTR of Di Donato is up into 8th place, which is second in Class B. Down to 3rd goes Michael Smith. I'm going to watch this Toyota Celica again. There go the flames belching out the back as he lifts off into Paddock Hill Bend. Looks wonderful. So many fights up and down through this order. It's just wicked to watch. Impossible to keep abreast of, but wonderful to watch. And there's only one of us up in the box here, and you can't really keep looking round. Leader's just been compromised because through the double-waved yellows, as the Cully car gets recovered, they're up behind a back marker, production BMW, so they suddenly all had to slow down until the green flag, and that means Darren Goes has been able to close right onto the back of our leader. Jackson will be absolutely livid with that, and our pole sitter, Gary Hufford, the 45 BMW, tried to make a move around the outside towards Paddock Hill Bend on Colin Noble's number 20 BMW. Wasn't quite able to come off there. They're still side by side, or should I say they're side by side again, which suddenly means that the Parkins Team Darkside Golf is now trying to get involved, and we now have the front 5 all line astern again. Wonderful photo opportunities for these guys. Pit window is now open, and I heard the who to go, because that means already in comes Michael Smith. The Seat Ibiza is coming in to make its pit stop now. 2 minutes, remember. It's a very different looking car, that thing, isn't it? As he comes in, comes to a stop, does the number 24. Takes him away from that fight with Di Donato at the moment, but are they going to pick it back up again soon? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Jackson Goes, Noble, Hufford and the Parkins, the top 5, all line astern as they disappeared out of our eyesight. Again, watch this sight of this black 112 Celica. Lifts off, there's the flames heading in towards Paddock Hill Bend. I just love that sight. I'm not the only one that's noticed it as well, as I saw good photos being taken there by the recovery crews, as they knew that was going to happen as that car comes down towards Paddock Hill Bend. Just spits the flames out wonderfully. I think it's just to make sure no one gets too close to the rear of that car. In comes 97 Connell and 82 Hatton, but none of the leaders are pitting, or are they? Now, where's Jackson gone? Jackson comes through now, and he's lost a whole heap of positions. He's down in 5th place now. There's a bit of damage, I think, to the right corner. And Noble's just had a moment there, and in fact, that's compromised everybody. So everyone apart from Darren Goes got held up by the number 20 BMW. Now, is that a puncture? I've got a feeling he has a puncture, and that could be maybe linked to whatever happened to the number 1. And Hufford's just stepped onto the grass. Is there a puncture there as well? Have we got a sequence of punctures going on here? Coming down the hill towards Paddock Hill Bend, he just suddenly went to exit stage right. He's got some damage on the front as well, actually, so that could be the thing there. And certainly Noble is having to tiptoe that car round, so something at the back of the circuit. I said that they were all line astern as they disappeared out, but both of those BMWs are now having to tiptoe themselves round. They're still going. No, Noble's not. Noble's pulling into the back of the paddock. If he's got a puncture, then he knows he's not going to be able to get through. That has changed it completely. Darren Goes, 22, in the lead. It's now going to be the Parkins, I would say, that are going to be in 2nd place. Jackson may come out of this a bit better than he first appeared in 3rd, but Darren Goes is going to be comfortably in the lead by the time he comes back into our eyesight. Plenty of them piling into the pits now. Michael Smith has already gone out. Remember, he was the first one to stop. He's gone out in 30th, and I need to keep an eye on the 33 car of Diagnostics because that could be interesting when they come back out. Right, here goes the number 22, Darren Goes. The 20 car is in, but the fact that it's gone in the back, it hasn't therefore gone all the way around. That isn't going to be allowed, is it? Darren Goes. Then it is the Parkins in second. Third now is the 99 BMW of Daniel and Patrick Seal. That is another orange BMW. Then it's Gay and Tester. The G&M Motorsport, Sam Gay, Colin Tester, Honda Integra is up into fourth position. Fifth. Well, now we've got pit stops for Noble, Hufford, and Jackson's into the pits as well, actually. So looking at that one, and there is a change there. So there is two drivers in that number one car. It says on the timing there's only one, and it says on the entry list there's only one, but there's definitely a driver change going on with that number one car, and I can't tell you who it is. Sorry guys, I'm going to assume, let's have a look to see, do we normally, no, there's not even a driver two down on the commentator sheet that I've got, so they've obviously last minute decided to throw an extra driver in on that number one, and I'm afraid I can't tell you who. Now the Noble car, they're certainly looking at the rear of that. The 45 Hufford car, they've got some damage on the front corner there. Now that one did carry on round. Darren Goes is in. The race leader comes into the pits as well now. What about the Team Darkside BMW? Now that carries on, so the Parkins car carries on. 24 minutes left to go in this 45-minute race. May well be just one more lap, and that would take him to about half race distance. But Darren Goes, creeps himself in. Busy pit lane now, lots of cars in. The Gay and Tester Integra's in. Sorry, ahead of them, I should have said the 99 BMW of the Seals. That's in. That's going to be a driver change. Sam Gay, Colin Tester, they're going to be switching over as well. So it is the Parkins number 13 that leads at the moment. There goes the 33 car of Di Donato. Now remember, I want to keep an eye on that because that is an interesting Class B fight. Where's he going to come out with respect to the number 26 car, was it? Number 26 of Michael Smith. 24, sorry, number 24 of Michael Smith. He's now up into 19th place. Remember who was leading Class B. Of course, it's Gay and Tester that are leading Class B, so they should still be comfortably in lead of that Class B. It certainly was for second and third, and there is silverware for each of the classes. Sadly, not the podium presentations that we usually get to enjoy. Doesn't look like they're getting that 45 Hufford BMW fixed, sadly. Darren Goes, trundles down the pit lane, ready to make his way back out onto the circuit. The Team Darkside Golf hasn't come in this lap. I thought they might come in this lap, but no, decided against that. I don't know which of the Parkins is in there at the moment, of course, whether it's Scott or Ryan. There goes the number one car. It may well be the same as the first race when it was Jackson and Pidgley. Let's have a look and see in terms of last season, 2021. Ollie Pidgley lives in Wiltshire, my neck of the woods. The fact that there was a changeover, I'm going to assume that Ollie may well be out there. I can't say too much because I haven't had it confirmed that that is the case, of course. So still, I would say we've got over half of the cars have now made their stops. Team Park in Golf number 13 continues in the lead. Now, interestingly, we've got double waved yellow still down for the Cully car, number 10, and they dragged it a good chunk of the way, but it looks like they must have hit a bit of a snag, and still the grab vehicle is with it, basically, to sort of protecting it. No, it's now moving away, so it looks to me as though they tried to get it a bit further, but it's not going to play ball. Driver jumps out of the car now. I think they may have been hoping to see if they could go backwards, but through goes the number 1 car now. Getting in terms of lap times from that one. Maybe it was Ollie Pidgley that was in the lead. What a great fight. The Gay and Tester car all over the back of the 99 BMW, so they've managed to close in during the course of those pit stops because there was quite a reasonable gap. Same order from memory. That 99 BMW was ahead, I think. I'm trying to remember now. But certainly is an awful lot closer this time. In fact, I wonder whether the 99 BMW has moved up. It may well have just got past the Gay and Tester Integra this time round. The Seat Ibiza of Michael Smith just making its way up towards Di Donato is now in. So that 33 Peugeot 205 GTI, number 33 is 33 is in the pits now. It was running second. Overall, but obviously that's because it hadn't pitted, but it's about watching where is he going to come out compared to Michael Smith. So I'm going to be keeping a sneaky eye. Into the pits comes our leader, the Team Darkside Golf. The Parkins are now in. This is where we're now going to understand what the situation is. All bar one of the cars has now stopped. The only one yet to do so is the 58 car. Through goes Darren Goes. He is up into second, but he's the best part of a lap, basically because the Golf is the other side. So how quickly can he get round? So we're now looking at the overall race lead. It doesn't matter in reality. The Parkins are Class A, so they're dominating that. But have you ever seen a racing driver be able to go, I don't need to get involved in that race, I'm leading my class? Me neither. They just love to race. And I think we're going to see exactly the same thing again, and long may that kind of trait continue. I'm hoping that's all okay with the Parkins down there. They're sort of there with the door open quite a lot. Here comes Darren Goes. He's going to be in the lead, and by the looks of it, fairly comfortably. The door's shut. There we go. Out. Oh, and the production BMW. That's very fast from that white production BMW. And it just hold up the Parkins. So Darren Goes is into the lead. The Parkins not far away. And now that 162 production BMW just caused an issue through Paddock Hill Bend as well. Up towards Druid. So Darren Goes looks like he's got this under control. There goes the number 1 car of Nick Jackson, maybe Ollie Pidgley. Up towards Druids. That car goes. Then it's the 99 BMW of Daniel and Patrick Seal, the Red Seal Racing BMW M3. Then there's a gap before we get to the number 16 car, Sam Gay and Colin Tester, G&M Motorsport Honda Integra. So they're fairly spread out on that part as it stands at the moment. There's the Class B second and third battle just going into Paddock Hill Bend, the black 205 GTI that is actually sat running 6th in all, Michael Smith 7th overall. So actually 1, 2 and 3 in Class B are on the timing screens at least running line astern, but the Gay and Tester Integra is a long way ahead of them lap time wise. Well, actually, do you know what, Michael Smith 146 last time round, the 2 ahead of him were 148. This could be interesting for that Seat Ibiza, you know, if he can keep that one going and it's legit, he could be up there fighting with them quite interestingly. Number 18, Stark, he's jumped up into 9th place, leading the TB, the Track Day B class. Track Day trophy, of course, as we know, is on there. The Super Cup is actually a championship. Track Day trophy is, as it sounds, it is just a trophy. It's a series. Now, the Parkins are under growing pressure from the Jackson number 1 car. That Jackson car is lapping quicker than Darren Goes. But Darren Goes is actually lapping about 4.5 seconds slower than he was at his best earlier, so I think there's still something in the tank of that Seat. Here comes 33, Diagnostics, 6th overall, second in Class B. Michael Smith, that Seat Ibiza, is he still flying? No, actually, Diagnostics now got himself down in the 45, so he's managed to pull that gap out a little bit, so that's possibly settled down now. We've got left 13.5 minutes left in this race. Some of the closest fights that we can see on the screen at the moment. 36 Dowsett and McKee, less than a second behind number 18 Starkey. In fact, you can see them just turning left at Surtees at the moment. The number 18 Honda Civic, Tom Starkey, the silver. Tom Starkey, apparently no Paul Harvey in it this time. Being closed in quite dramatically by the 36 BMW, the black BMW of Rob Dowsett and Sam McKee. Pit window is now closed, but thankfully everybody's been in. Now we have to wait and see whether there's any penalties that are going to be dished out. Car 38, 1 lap penalty, short pit stop. Car number 38 that is currently sat in 31st anyway. 7th in track day trophy D, so that's a track day trophy one, so it doesn't affect any kind of championship standings. But car number 38 made a bit of a boo-boo there. Mazda RX-8. Fingers crossed, that, who knows, that might even be the only one we get. Now, all of a sudden, it looks to me as though the 18 Starkey car has pulled away. Yeah, new personal best there. That was a 1.25 seconds quicker than the Dowsett and McKee BMW. So maybe I missed earlier that they'd switched around. But that was the closest fight, although we've got the track day C-class fight between 17 and 48. So the 48 car is the silver Renault Clio of Chaz Allen. He's only 0.428 behind car number 17, which is the white and orange Mazda MX-5. We saw those go through fairly recently, probably about in the same sort of section as the fight I was talking about earlier. But Darren Goes, 22, still leading the way and leading Class S. Class A leader and second overall, 13, which is Scott and Ryan Parkin in the Team Darkside Golf. Third, Nick Jackson. Just went for this fight that I was talking about. Look for a silver Renault Clio and the white with orange writing Mazda MX-5. They're the ones that are actually fighting genuinely for position. These two coming on to start-finish straight are fighting for position as well, although it has spread out a little bit at the moment. The 18 car of Starkey has pulled away from 36 at the moment. But here we go. Here's the silver Renault Clio. This is genuinely for position. They're 5th and 6th in the track day C class. Across the line they come. Those two are, and they're about to be lapped by our race leader, Darren Goes. Just playing it steady there. He's not throwing it gung-ho up the inside into Paddock Hill Bend. He might do so. And the Team Darkside car's about to be passed by number 1, Jackson/Pitchley. Delete as applicable, or add another one, whichever it is, up into second place on the road. Again, it's still not a problem for the Parkins. They're leading Class A. So they're doing their important part, because that's where the silverware is all about. Darren Goes has got past those two, and in fact the Clio number 48 got a slow exit from Graham Hill Bend, and up goes the number 17 Porsche Autosport. Alistair Esam in the Mazda MX-5s moves up a place in that track day trophy. Sadly it's not for silverware, but it almost deserves it with the fight they're putting on. What are they, 5th and 6th in track day C? 8.5 minutes left to go in this race. The great thing is, with such an eclectic mix of cars in this field, with it being a mix, in particular with it being a mix of the MSVT Track Day SuperCup and the Track Day Trophy, is that you're going to get strengths and weaknesses at different parts of the circuit. It's the same as why I was intrigued to see how it was going to play out once we've got it dry, because you've got some that would be fabulous in the dry, some that in the wet, some that would be awful in the wet, and then therefore it does the swings and roundabouts once you then get back out into this session, which is, as you can see, completely bone dry. I would say there's I'm probably taking a risk here, because we don't know what it's like out the back. The tree cover, it might still be a bit iffy in parts there, but I was about to say is that you can't imagine it being an issue for them at all. Now I'm interested. What have we got left? We've got 7.5 minutes. Darren Goes is just at the end of the Cooper Straight. At the start of the Cooper Straight is the number 1 car that is closing in on Darren Goes at the rate of, well, last time that was 2.5 seconds he took out of Darren Goes. But Darren Goes is lapping 4 seconds off of his best. So is he suddenly going to see that come down to the point and then go, okay, fair enough, I'm out of here, and suddenly accelerate off and away? I mean, it's still 7 minutes to go, so there's a reasonable chunk of racing left to do in this race yet. It does look, thankfully, like he's only the 1 car that's been given a penalty. See between Darren Goes and Jackson this time round. Darren Goes, look at this looks closer. 7.2 was the lead margin last time. Cross goes Darren Goes for his 21st lap, 6.25 minutes left to go. 7.2 last time, he's down to 5.0, new personal best from the number 1 car. There's a reason why they were champions last year. There's a reason why they arrive here as the championship leaders. This is intriguing. 5 seconds is that gap. We've got 6 minutes left to go. So we've got, a few laps of racing yet coming down. And suddenly you're talking the gap is half of the Cooper Straight. That's all it is, half of the Cooper Straight. They disappear off. They're in the countryside now. In fact, they're going to already be working their way back towards us, such as the speed of these cars. 5 minutes left to go. 5.0 was the margin when they disappeared out. eyes glued towards clearways for that Seat, green and white Seat of Darren Goes. And then what's the margin to the red and white number 1 car, the Seat SuperCup versus the Seat Cup Racer? They're together. They're absolutely joined together. Red flag. And we have a red flag just as that was about to get exciting. And I have no idea why. Certainly nothing that I can see here, sadly. But that is over, and it was suddenly is that Darren Goes was closed in completely by that number 1 car. They're going to be gutted by that red flag. Darren Goes will be delighted because, of course, he lost the race win last time. What a shame, 4.5 minutes left to go. Certainly I can't see anything at Hawthorne's or the Sheen and Sterling bit, although there is yellow flags as well as red coming into the left-hander of Sterling, so I wonder whether it's on the exit there that something has happened, sadly. I would hazard to guess that is where it is. So, the victory goes the way of Darren Goes, gives him the S-Class honours ahead of number 1 Jackson. Third is number 13, the Parkins in the Team Darkside Volkswagen Golf. That gives them Class A honours ahead of 99 Seals.